Welcome to another weekly S&P 500 analysis. Let's take a look at the S&P 500 cash index. Now, this Wednesday, we're going to have the latest FOMC announcement on the interest rate or the monetary policy direction. So the market is not expecting any change in the interest rate. But again, the interesting thing to pay attention to is Jay Powell's press conference. What he has to say is most likely going to move the market. So let's go and take a look at the price action from last week here. We see that the price tried to move away from this 6,000 level. Remember, we were saying that we need to see the S&P 500 to make a convincing move away from the 6,000 level. Then we can see it try to get up to this 6,100 area. Now, we did not see that follow through, although we did see a little bit of a convincing move here above the 6,000, but due to the latest Middle East conflict between Israel and Iran, then that kind of created a little bit of uncertainty in the market. But I do believe as soon as that conflict stabilizes a little bit, we will see the market head back up, because right now we could see the market pull back a little bit. Remember, we were looking at the 5,900 zone last week on the downside and 6,100 on the upside, and you could see that it ended the week almost unchanged for the S&P 500. Now, let's go and take a look at to see what the market is pricing in for the coming week. The market is pricing in on the upside is somewhere around 6,095, so a little bit shy of 6,100 area. And it is pricing down to the low point near the 58,000 area. This zone here, the lower range is between 5866.60 and 5805. So we could see a little bit of a pullback coming down to this 5,900 and then possibly get another push back up. So this pullback could be due to the acceleration or the little bit more continuation of the Middle East conflict between Israel and Iran, and then maybe we get a little pump from Jay Powell on Wednesday's presser. So we'll see, because that's basically what I'm looking for, is a little bit more pullback next week, possibly get down to the 5,900 area, and then another push back up into the 6,000 area, then push into the 6,100. And here, looking at the mini S&P 500, the ES, we see that last week the low came down to this lower range of the expected move down at the 5,900 area, and also into this high volume area here, this high volume no. See that it tried to get into the 6,100 area, but unable to get up there. And it did chop around inside of this high volume zone here, this composite that go way back. So, we're seeing the prices holding. And again, we're going to be watching for a little bit more of a pullback in the coming week. And here's what the market is pricing in for the coming week here. We are looking at the possibility of coming back up to the 6,100 area. It is pricing in the upper range between 61.45 and 60.90.75, and the lower range is somewhere between 58.65.75 and 58.32.50. So that's the lower range. And again, we be watching this zone here at the 5,900 and the 6,100 area. So that's basically what we're going to be watching. And let me pull this composite into a little bit more updated into the most recent price. And as you can see, we're seeing a high volume node developing here on this swing now, on this this price swing, and it is getting into this high volume zone. And here's the edge here. This volume edge is right near this 60.55, this 60.50 here on this edge. So we'll be looking for the price to move above this volume edge. Then we can see it pushing up into the 6100 area and into this low volume zone here. Now, if we see a pullback, we could see it come back down into this low volume zone and even possibly come down to this 5800. But we need to see it hold above this low here. And this low is somewhere 57, 56 and a half. So as long as it holds above this low, then we're basically continuing this, higher high, higher low, zigzag pattern toward the 6100 and possibly to an all-time high. And here looking at the SPY is holding up at this, 600 area here. Wasn't able to get back above this, into the 610 area. And you see that it's trying to finish in the middle of the weekly range. It didn't even come down to test this 590 here. And now here's what we are looking for the coming week. The SPY is actually pricing in a very narrow range on the upper edge here. I mean the upper range. It's pricing in a 608.20. So it's a little bit shy of the 610 and definitely a little bit shy of the all-time high for the coming week. So it seems like the market do not anticipate the SPY or the S&P 500 to make an attempt into testing the all-time high. Now we did see the price on the low range move a little bit lower. It is pricing in between 585.80 and 580. So that is the range that we are looking at. And if I move this composite to the latest price, just to get a little bit update on the profile, you can see that it is building a little bit of a balance here, kind of filling in this area here. So what we could see for the coming week is the possibility of a little bit more pullback into this composite point of control, and that would be down here at this 590 area, and possibly see would it get a bounce back up and push back up into the trying to make its way toward that 610 area. Definitely come up and see would it be able to test this upper range at 608. Here we're looking at the NQ, the E-mini Nasdaq 100 future. See the price came down to near the composite point of control last Friday, and got a nice little bounce back up, although it did close negative on Friday, but it did get a bounce off of this, this zone here, this high volume zone here near the composite point of control. Now it did not break into the lower range or the upper range last week, so we do anticipate a little bit more downside, possibly get back underneath this point of control, maybe test a little bit more into this area here in the coming week. So here's what we are looking at for the coming week, what the market is pricing in. So the market is pricing in somewhere around 22,000 on the upper range here. And the low range is 21,212 and 20,950. So we're basically looking for the possibility of the price coming down into this high volume zone and possibly test this lower range before it get a push back up into this 2200 area. Now if I move this composite to include this most recent price, you can see that the point of control is actually shifted up a bit. It came up to somewhere around this 21,800 area, and it was down here in this area about 21,500 area here on this high volume low. So we could see the possibility for the price to come down, chop around, and then push back up because the value is the value for last Friday or last week actually has moved up in this based on this particular swing of the price action. And for the QQQ, we did not see the price to come anywhere close to the lower range of the expected move here last week. It's basically just kind of chop around up here in this high volume area. And right now, basically looking for the price to possibly come down and test this point of control and into this high volume zone to see would it be able to find support and then push this back up. So here's what the market is pricing in for the coming week. The market is pricing in somewhere around 538, 539 on the upper range, near the 540 area. and the lower range is between 515.70 and 511.50. So we'll be basically looking for the price to see if it come down and find support here, and then get another push back up into this 540 area. Now, this is the low that we need to keep an eye on. So for the Q, it has to hold about this low, and that is 505.58. And in order to maintain this higher high, higher low zigzag toward the all-time high. And let me update this composite volume profile to include the latest price. So you can see, unlike the NQ, the point of control for the QQQ did not move up. Remember, we saw the NQ actually shifted up and up into this high volume zone here. But right now, the NQ composite point of control remain to be down here, somewhere around this 520 area. So we could see the price come down to this 520 and then get a bounce. And maybe, once again, Jay Powell's press conference might help propel that move back up to the 540 area. So that's basically the price action and the price scenario for the coming week. And if you want to see the full context of the broader market and the internal, be sure to go check out this post on my newsletter at Substack, and the link I have placed in the description below. And if you find this video to be informative and useful, be sure to smash that thumbs up, to give it a like to help promote this video on YouTube. And if you are new to this channel, click on the subscribe to help support this channel by subscribing. Thank you for watching, and good luck on your trading.